By comparison, I'm going to take apart this Ryan sword Wakizashi that I got. This is a custom Yaido, 100% from the ground up custom that I had made to complete a daisho set. I've never taken this one apart, so you guys just saw what the Shadow Dance looked like. Let's see what a Ryan sword looks like. Before anybody says anything, these are black because I put Sharpie on them so that it would match with the handle. It was my choice for aesthetics. No, it didn't come that way. But notice that the pin came straight out. It was not in there at an angle. It was drilled straight through. Personally, I find that to be a sign of better craftsmanship, better care and attention to detail. Part of the reason I say that is because the whole reason I'm taking this one apart is because I decided to swap out the handle on it. I wanted to go to a shorter handle, which yes, I realize I'm going to have to cut the tang shorter. I know some people are going to hate me for that, but it's okay. Cutting the tang shorter, I'm putting a shorter handle on it because while I love this one, I'm not a fan of how long the Wakizashi handle is. I find that it gets in the way a lot more than I would like. However, I like having the added blade length of a Wakizashi over a Tanto. So, we're going to swap the handle. Again, first time I've taken this one apart. Let's see how easily I can get it to pop. I really don't want to beat on it too much because of the way this suit was designed. But we'll see. Here, we're going to have to tap on it a little bit. There we go. Notice how when this one came free, it popped because it broke free of the fittings, and then it came out cleanly. A little bit of wood in there. That's normal. Now let's look at how the rest of this fits. My spacers, notice these are not peened or staked, but it's okay. I didn't have any issues with it rattling, so I'm not really concerned about that. Tiny bit of rust on it. However, there's no glue. There are no burrs anywhere. There's no sign that they used resin to glue it together or anything like that. Both holes are straight. It's marked with their logo. It's given a serial number. Every blade that they sell has a serial number to it, as well as being signed by the smiths. To me, this is just such a better sign of workmanship and quality compared to the Shadow Dancer. But you guys be the judge of that and what you like or don't like. That's just my 2 cents. Alright, so what I did here is I put the tsuba on that I'm going to be using along with one spacer. I left the other spacer off because I find it's easier to add one spacer if I need to make it tighter versus if you start with 2 and you get the distance wrong and it's too loose, then you're looking at adding a whole extra spacer. So I'd rather potentially have no spacer in there than have to put 2 in. So I start with no spacer and then I did a test fit to see exactly how deep the recess is in the handle. Found that the tang needs to end approximately just below this knot, and so kind of just recreating the shape they have going on down here. I just etched it on with my brass punch, and I'm going to add some more tape up here just to protect it from getting beat up when I use a saw to cut it. Alright, we had to get some different tools and come back. So now that we have our drill and everything, we should be ready to go. So I'm going to start off with a smaller pilot hole, probably with this guy. And then I need to find a bit that matches that hole size. Close. Maybe touched too big. Remember, if you're drilling something out or cutting something off, you can always go bigger, or you can always take more off, but you can't put it back once you take it off. So we'll go with that guy. So for this, I'm going to line this guy up again. I do not have a spacer in the back because I find that in the past I've done it with both spacers in place and I didn't get it quite tight enough, and then I had to find a way to shim it and whatnot. So we're going to do it without that spacer in the back, and then it'll be too easy to throw that spacer in to make it tight. I'm just going to line this guy up here, like so. This is probably not the most conventional or best way to do this, but this is the best way I've figured out to do it. I'm going to center this in the hole. Now I'm going to be very careful not to drill all the way through, because that hole is going to roughly end up underneath this Ito wrap. I don't want to drill into my Ito. So then I'm going to carefully this is the part that I hate. This is kind of the point of no return, that if you mess it up, there's no going back, there's no way to fix it. But I've done everything the best I can to make sure my holes and everything are lined up. So without further ado, again, be very careful not to damage my wrap, because that pin is going to land right underneath it. Alright, now let's test fit one of these. Let's see if it goes in. It's pretty tight. I might make that hole a little bit bigger. Tiny bit of a tight fit, but I'd rather be a little bit tight. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Use a small file to clean that up on the inside. Now, we should be good to go. It's definitely a little bit of a tight fit, but I think that's good. We're going to try it without a spacer in the back first and see how it fares. I'm going to have to put that spacer in. That's all right. Now, right in front of me. Spacer in. Perfect. Beautiful. So we take our pin. Because it's right under my Ito wrap, I'm going to make sure that I don't protrude this pin too much, because I don't want to damage the Ito stretching it or something on the other side. There we go. Pin is just barely protruding on that side, below flush on this side, below the Ito. We are nice and tight. And a little bit of movement on the Tsuba, but hardly any. Definitely not any rattle. And there we have it.